Hello and welcome to the channel. It's beginning to rain, so I'm going to have to make this quick. I promised you a tour of the July garden, so let's get into it before it starts raining. Here by the back door, the herb garden is doing some things are growing well, some things are not growing so well. I sowed some seeds, and so I'm waiting for some things to germinate. But this is the herb garden in the corner. So we'll see how that does. Raindrops are falling on my head, y'all. I had to put up a shade cloth, but this is what the cattle panel looks like. I put some beans in here. They have not come up yet, so hopefully they'll come up soon. The Malabar spinach is looking a lot worse for the wear. The heat is really eating into that. I did sow some more pepper seeds in these buckets right here, but no dice on those. Now, I cannot remember what exactly this is. It's either an okra or it's a roselle. I think it is an okra, but I have not seen any flowers on this plant, and the stalk is massive. So don't know quite yet what this is. But over here, I have some, I think that's Swiss chard or perpetual spinach, or it might even be a sugar beet right down in there. I have watermelon in here as well. I do have beans in both of those as well. I have a couple of parsnips left. I need to get those harvested and put something in that pot. The carrots did not do well for me this year, so I'm going to resow that pot in the fall. Right now, it's just basically being a table for the sweet potatoes. And all of this is sweet potatoes. So let's go on the other side. On the opposite side of the cattle panel, the collard greens took a bit of a hit with bug pressure and with the heat, but collard greens are still doing well. I've been spraying them down. I've been taking off all the old leaves, and they are beginning to come back. I do have a little bit of die off down there, but I'm not going to worry about that. I am going to sow some more collard green seeds, but as you can see on the stem, it is beginning to come back. Like I said, it had a lot of pest pressure this year. I do get pests in my garden as well, as well as many of you. I did sow some beans in here, so this is not empty. I'm hoping that those beans will come up soon. As I mentioned, I had to put a shade cloth over because it is crazy hot. And in my last video, I showed you all what was in that pot, so we're not going to talk about that. I have some sweet potatoes. They need some water real bad. They're suffering. They're not on the drip, so I'm going to have to water that. I'm going to let it rain. Well, I'm not going to let it rain. It's going to rain on its own. Mother Nature will do what she do, and then I will come and water everything in the garden that needs my attention. Putting up shade cloth, if you all can see. The entire back fence I have shaded. So I'm not going to take everything off. As I mentioned, it is about ready to come down. I have raindrops falling on me as we speak, but I'm going to peek in and give you guys. These are brassicas as well as basils over here, and they're in varying stages of life. As you can see, this one here, I think that's the Ethiopian kale. It has gone to seed. I have some seeds in, no, this is a pepper in here. I have a pepper in here. I don't know which one. I'm not going to look for it, you all, but I do have a pepper. It's either a shishito or a peppercorn pepper, and it's a baby pepper right there. But I've been putting basil in a lot of my plants. My kales are doing well. I have had some die off, but as you can see, as I mentioned, my brassicas have taken a hit. I've sprayed them, so they're trying to bounce back. I do need to reseed this Russian kale. It did not bounce back. It took a really bad hit. But as you can see there in that pot, I've got some Asian greens coming up. I have been sowing seed. So some things are doing well and some things are just like, not quite. This basil is really taking over. I've been plucking off the flowers on the top because I don't want it to go to flower yet. I need to harvest it, but I have to go to the store. I just got, as a matter of fact, no, I got some today. I got some Parmesan cheese today. So once the weather changes up and I can get out here and really chop things back, I will be harvesting all of my basil. Up under the asparagus, I have some Asian greens that I have sown. I hope you all can see, but those babies are coming up. I did put some Asian greens in this pot as well, but I don't see it coming up, so I may have to re-sow that. But I have also taken my garlic chives and placed them all along this row over here. So that is this side of the back fence. This is the asparagus. Let me see if I can give you guys a quick peek. The asparagus is out of control. I mean, she is just doing her thing, y'all. She is living her best life. She is giving me lots and lots of seeds. Can you all see those green seeds? I do have some red seeds in there. I will be harvesting all these seeds. I don't need them all, so I may just gift them to people. Um, so I have tons and tons of asparagus seed. This is my original asparagus. It is a harvestable asparagus. If you know anything about asparagus, you have to let it grow in your garden for about 3 years, 2 to 3 years, before you can harvest off of it. And it's ready to go. So I've been eating off of this. Now I have peppers over here, and I've been moving things around because, like I said, I put this shade cloth up because it's been so incredibly hot. You can see by the elderberry, because it's so yellow, that I've been watering, and that's gotten a little bit too much water. So I am trying to give it fertilizer, nitrogen. As you can see, hope you all can see, it's giving me more stems, more leaves, and it's greener under here. It's also being bleached by the sun, which is another reason why I put it up under here. It's just so incredibly hot. I have some, let's see, I think this is callaloo. Is that callaloo? No, this is common sorrel, but I think this might be a pecan baby. But this is common sorrel. I do need to do some harvesting. I have 2 peppers up under here that I've moved. One is a bell pepper mix, and I think one of them is my serrano. As you all know, in the back of the garden, I have those really big pots back there. I have 6. That's going to be a video for another day. We'll talk about all those huge pots because I'm adding more back there. I have another one that I'm putting in right now. I'm still working on it. This pot I put some seeds in, and it is not nothing has germinated yet, I don't think. Oh no, there's a tiny little bitty green. Let's see. Can you all see that? Little bit of green right there. And I'm not sure what that is. I don't see it on the tag. So I think that could be a pepper because I've been sowing pepper seeds. I got some new pepper seeds and I've been sowing them. So that could be a pepper. We'll see once it really gets to be a big boy. My Swiss chard has taken a beating. Sorry about that, y'all. Something was rubbing on my leg. I was about ready to start stomping. The plants inside the cattle panel are trying to escape. The Swiss chard has taken a beating. You can see the sun has been really bad. I have transplanted a plant that was in this pot. I've moved it. So right now, all I have in that pot are some seeds that I have not germinated. I need to add some more soil on the side and then pot that up and get that ready for the fall. My longevity spinach, look at that. Let me back up. That longevity spinach is giving life. I mean, look how gorgeous. I've actually harvested off of that and have eaten it, and it is absolutely delicious. Now let me pick this up over here. I'm trying to do this one-handed, y'all. Now, this is my malanga, and as you can see, I put it in a bigger pot, and it is loving its life. I do have 2 more roots in there. I do not see them popping up yet, but I do have 2 more roots of malanga in there. This is my youngest asparagus. Let's see. It's giving off a lot. It has all those seeds. Can you all see those seeds? Tons and tons of seeds on this, but it has a ton of seeds on it. And I ended up with I want to say this is a delicata squash that grew in here that wasn't supposed to be in here, and I'm not sure if it's even any good. That was a surprise. Sorry about that, y'all. Something was touching my leg. I'm having a moment today, y'all. A moment today. But that I think is a really runty looking delicata squash. My raspberries, ooh, they are taking a beating. Y'all, let me tell you, these raspberries, they are something. They were dying off. but I have one stem there and one stem right there. And I don't know if that, I think this could be a pecan baby, but again, it's been so incredibly hot that I've had to cover up everything. My grape was beginning to take a beating. The grape is all the way in there. I mean, look at that. It's sprawling. It's getting big, but it was really suffering because of all the heat. The Texas, what is that called? Texas sunflower. What is that called, y'all? See, now my brain can't remember what that is. Oh, Mexican sunflower. The Mexican sunflower is huge, but it has got some kind of disease on it. And it's just, I think I might need to spray it or something because it's doing too much. It's doing way too much now. But it was getting really, really big until I put this cover on it. But I had no choice. And over here, I'm so disappointed. The heat absolutely killed my raspberry. I think it's dead, y'all. I think it died. There's a tiny bit of green all the way in the back on that stem right there. But the heat was so just aggressive that before I knew it, it was gone. My rhubarb back there, one of them died. It's in the ground, and I know why it died because the wood chips are keeping the undersoil very moist. And I cannot water back here because it will hold on to the water, and it killed off one of the rhubarb. But I do have a rhubarb down there. As you can see, it does have a little baby leaf coming up. So that's the rhubarb back there. Of course, comfrey, I've harvested off of this comfrey and put it in the compost over here. So that is the back garden. I know it was quick. So let's go over to the orchard. The celery in this pot is doing well. Now this is either celery or lovage, but I think it's celery. And it's starting to really perk up. My what is this? This was y'all, my brain, I'm just not thinking well today. This was chamomile. The chamomile has died off, but I am going to be sowing more seeds. No, I did sow more seeds, but it takes about 120 days for chamomile, so I don't expect to get any more chamomile. My fig tree lost some of its leaves, but it is putting on some new leaves. It was just so incredibly hot. My Chicago Hearty was like, ooh, help me, help me. It's holding on to a little bit of fruit, but I'm afraid the fruit is not going to come to anything, but we'll see. I did put a shishito pepper in here, and if you all can see, this is the baby shishito. I'm waiting for it to get a little bit bigger before I top it, and I have a basil in here as well. Now I put my olive in this pot. I had clover in here. I think the clover did not like the disturbance of some of the roots, and so I'm going to cut that back. I do have some yellow wax beans in this pot. They were giving beans, but right now, again, it's just been so incredibly hot. They're not giving anything. They're just like, ooh, no, we're done. So I did resow some more yellow wax beans. We'll see how they do. And I am going to have to harvest this because, let me step back. This is my callaloo. Yes, this is yeah, I think, yep. This is the callaloo. And it is beginning to seed. And I'm hoping that it did not drop seeds everywhere, but I have a fear that it did. So this might be interesting. I'm trying to catch the seeds for this callaloo. And that one up there was just as full as these two. And I can see there's some yellowing on the olive. So I'm hoping that it wasn't seeds. If not, I'm going to end up picking up callaloo everywhere. As you can see here, this fell because the wind has been so high. So this was the callaloo that fell. So I'm trying to keep an eye on the callaloo. I had to move it because I needed to put up the shade cloth. And this is another Ethiopian, I think, yeah, this is the Egyptian spinach. So I moved it because they seem to do relatively okay with the heat. Let me take those leaves off because I'm sorry, y'all. take those yellow leaves off. I'm gonna actually put them in the compost water over here. But this is the Ethiopian kale. And like I said, I moved these two because they were tall and they seem to be okay with the heat. Now, I did put some more beans in this pot because this tree did die back, but that's okay. I'm going to take it out and see if there's something going on with the holes. Are they plugged up? Was it holding too much water? I'm going to figure out what happened to this tree once I take that out. But these beans, these were pole beans and they died off. So I am going to take this out, but I'm going to see if I get any more beans growing before I do that, because I did put some more pole beans in here. So I'm hoping to use this as a trellis like I did already. So I'm going to leave it alone because those beans are coming up, and I did put more in there. So we'll see. This is a sprawling lady cream pea, and I do have some beans that I'm going to harvest. I'm not going to do it right now, but I have beans that I'm going to harvest. It has been flowering, but it's, again, extremely hot. So I'll be harvesting these beans. I've got some dry ones. I have some fresh ones. Hope you all can see. Sorry, I'm holding the camera with my hand. Y'all know I'm terrible when it comes to holding the camera with my hand. But I think I'll probably just leave these dry ones on here for a little while longer and then harvest them dry. I know that's not good because it will stop the production of the beans, but it's doing what it's doing because it's been too hot, y'all. Now, this is the plum, the methyl plum, and it is holding its own, and I'm thankful for it because I'm really trying hard not to lose any more trees. I want to say I planted purple royal bush beans. It was my second planting of beans, and I don't see anything coming up. The first ones have all died off. So I am going to take this limb off. I'm going to graft that. I'm going to air layer that, but I'm waiting for some stuff to come in so that I can utilize it to help me with that. So the plum is doing well. Over here, I repotted the Bing. Was it Bing? No, Barbados cherry, and it's been in this pot for a few days. It looks like the cutter bee has found it. Yep, the cutter bee has found it, and the cutter bee has been cutting on it. Oh my goodness, that little cutter bee, she is just notorious for coming over here and just jacking me, y'all. So yeah, the cutter bee has found it. It looks like it's getting bigger. So I'm happy to see that. It's happy. I think I'm gonna try to leave it out this winter. We'll see. The tag says it can stay in the garden up to 30 down to 32 degrees, but I'm gonna reread that and see what I have to do. This is my little apple tree, and it has been suffering, y'all. Let me see. It has just been suffering. The heat has been eating it alive. I'm going to have to take those leaves off. It's not dead, but it is indeed suffering because the heat, the sun has just been, oh my goodness, it's terrible. This was a radish that came, a radish seed that fell in here from the pot. I had moved the pot. Is that a spider? I had moved this pot from a different location, and I think radish seeds fell in it. So I'll be harvesting that radish. I'm not going to be growing radishes in this pot. I'm probably going to be putting some beans in here to give this some nitrogen. This was my mixed greens pot. I had some red lettuce, some Paris Island lettuce. I had some arugula, some chicory, some watercress. I had planted all those seeds. Not everything came up. And I planted some shiso. Now I'm not sure which one this is, but you can see that it has not been harvested the way I needed to harvest it. I do apologize for not showing y'all properly. So what I have done is I have planted in here some moringa babies. I planted some moringa seeds in here, and so I have some moringa. That's not moringa, but that is alfalfa. I'm going to pull that out. But this is a moringa baby, and I put about 5 moringa seeds in here. So I want moringa to grow here. I'm not going to grow lettuce here. I'm going to grow just moringa and maybe something under the moringa to give it some additional nutrients since it's going to be in a pot. And I have some lettuce seeds I have to harvest. All the lettuce is going to go in a green stalk. Now this is my Fort Sam peach. It has put on a lot of growth. I have actually cut it back. You can do a summer pruning. I wanted to open it up, which is what I've done. And I'm probably going to be maybe taking off that limb down there because it's leaning down. I don't want anything leaning in the walkway. But this is my peach. It lost all of its fruit this year, but it has put on a lot of top growth. I mean, it is doing so much. It was not this big when I moved here a year ago, and now it is massive. So that is the peach. So let me scoot around the peach, and I want to get up on the porch and show you all something. Now, I did harvest this comfrey, but this right here, this is my castor plant. Now, I did put like 8 seeds down there, and I think I only have two plants. Yeah, 2 came up. And they all seem to be viable because they all sprouted. So it could be possible that they come up at a different time. You know how seeds do, y'all. But this is my castor plant, and as you can see, it is putting on seeds. So in the future, I may have seeds that I can, ooh, I've got some brown ones in there. I'm going to have to harvest those. I may have some seeds that I can share with my subscribers, my online friends, if they're interested. But this is my castor plant. But I want to get up my stock first before I start giving out seeds, because you only get so many when you buy the actual seeds, and I wanted more. So I'm actually going to be harvesting those brown ones here today. I don't want to lose those. They look like they're ready. But that's the seed pod, y'all. That's what I'm looking at. But yes, this is my castor, and this is almost as tall as I am. I'm so excited. It's probably taller than me because it's actually leaning a little bit. I've had to stake it up. The wind grabbed a hold to it. So it might be taller than I am. Let me just double check to make sure that those seeds didn't open up on that side. But that is my orchard area, everybody. The orchard area is looking so-so. I mean, it is what it is when you're doing your very best to save your plants, grow food, harvest. But that is the orchard area. Both of the Texas Star hibiscus plants are doing well. This one had fewer stalks come up in it than the opposite one. I found that this morning the hummingbirds really liked this plant and they were feeding off of it. So I'm excited. I was going to move these into the cut flower garden, but I did not. I hadn't moved them yet. So I think I'm going to leave them here. If the hummingbirds are going to come and feed off of them, I'm going to leave them here. The lemongrasses are doing well. Of course, they need a little more water. When your leaves begin to curl up and look a little dry, that's when your lemongrass needs water. One of my Japanese maples, well, actually both of them, lost leaves. This one is beginning to put leaves back on. This one is still alive. You can tell by the leaf there at the base, by the stem. They're all still green. And they were, looks like, see here, it's putting on more leaves. So it's trying to rebound. I'm trying to figure out how to love them right. The tag says that they, of course, are sun and shade, but I don't believe they're Texas sun. I think they're like full shade. And so I had to drag them in here, and I've been trying to figure their life out. The baby banana that used to be in the greenhouse, this is the 2 here. Let's move this out the way, y'all. These are the 2 baby bananas right here, and they are growing like teenagers. I mean, they are really putting on growth. They really and truly are. They look amazing. Now behind them, back there, let's see. I don't want to break anything, but that is my taro root, and I hope you all can see it is growing like a teenager. Up in there, up in there. This is my Cavendish banana. Now I'm gonna go sit over in the garden seat because I want to show you all. I changed my mind. Something dug off into the ground right there. I don't know what's living in that hole. So yeah, your girl ain't going over there right now until that's dealt with, whatever that is. This is the banana. There was an adult banana and 1 baby in here when I put it in this pot. And now I have 4 baby bananas in this pot. So it is loving its life. It really and truly is. And it's putting out another leaf. So let me go handle up on this right here, y'all, this hole, before I inch off into this green, this cattle panel, because that's troublesome to me. So let me handle that and I'll be right back. My leek pot. I have a leek pot also behind the banana. I do have a few leeks back there. That banana, ooh, y'all, that banana loving this life, but we're not going to talk about that no more. I took care of, at least I felt like I did, what was going on down there. That was a very, very deep hole. But hopefully whatever that is, it's dealt with, because I put some stuff down there and cover that back up. We're not going to talk about that. The peppers in here are doing well. They're producing. They're green on this plant. I believe this one is the serrano. Yeah, I believe this one is the serrano pepper. And I'm not quite sure what this one is yet. I don't see any peppers on it. It does have a huge basil in there. This might also be a serrano over in the corner over here. Well, no, nope, that's banana. Look at it. I got to get those bananas off of there. That looks like a banana. So those have to come off. But this looks like a serrano. I have serrano and Fresno. No, I'm sorry. This is like a Fresno. And that one looks like a serrano. Let's see. Sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes. They are just doing way too much over here. They are taking over. I also have some Oriental Wonder beans in there, but the sweet potatoes are taking over. That I'm missing the beans. There are a couple. There are a couple here. Can you all see that? So if I am not careful, I will miss the beans. But what I'm doing is if I miss a bean, I throw it back in the pot, and hopefully this time next year, it'll do the same thing and come back on its own. Of course, I have my yuck yuck bottles or my yuck yuck tubs. And so that's my liquid fertilizer. I hope I'm not going too fast, you all. I've got a new pepper in there that is supposed to be a banana. So I may end up with two bananas, and that's fine. That is the purple cayenne pepper. And this is a tomato. This is the Arctic something or other tomato, something Arctic, subarctic tomato. And so it came back from just me throwing tomatoes in the pot. That right there is my store-bought, that horseradish. I'm going to have to remove some of the bitter melon because it's trying to take over everywhere. And over in that pot over there, that was supposed to be potatoes, but nothing has come up. And that is a turnip that came back from seed that spilled out from the plant itself. Here, this is my last but not least. I am still plucking off the seed pods for the basils. And there was supposed to be a pepper in here. This was supposed to be a jalapeno, and I know there is a pepper. Let's see. It's right here. This is one of them. And that's supposed to be a jalapeno pepper, and this is the basil. The basil is taken over. I hope you all are seeing okay. I'm a little freaked out. I'm trying to keep an eye on my feet because I don't have on my boots. I was just coming out here really quickly and seeing that hole just threw me off, threw me for a loop. So I have some peppers I have to harvest. I'll be doing that from the opposite side. The banana's looking good. Now this one, last but not least, this is my fish pepper. I hope you all can see. I do apologize again for my videoing skills. This is my fish pepper, and I do have fish peppers on this plant. Some of them are yellow. I'm sorry, some of them are green. Some of them are turning. And I do have a few in here that are blushing, and I will be taking those off very soon. But this is my fish pepper. Now, I don't know if you all can see down in there behind that banana. Those are the leeks I was talking about. I will be harvesting some leeks, but I'm really excited to see this banana is loving its life and that it's putting on so many pups, because there were only two bananas in there, and now there is more than two. I think I said there was four pups. Let me move this hole, y'all. Get that hole out the way. Let's see. I've got one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I have 4 bananas in this pot. Got 4. Yeah. Looks like 4 from what I can see. And so, yeah. as the minions would say, banana. So excited. So this is the garden. Let's get out of this cattle panel, y'all. Let me move. I'm gonna leave my hoe right there because I might have to use that again. But that is the cattle panel. The garden is growing. It is in areas where it's flourishing. It's flourishing. In areas where it is struggling, and I'm doing my very best to keep it alive. I will be cutting back my Malabar spinach and trying to give it a second flush. The leaves are very small on it this year. There's only a few leaves that are big. So I'll be cutting this back. It's putting on seeds. I'm going to harvest these seeds. If anybody wants Malabar spinach seeds, you know what to do. Hit me up on Instagram and don't forget to follow me, like the video, and let me know if you'd like some Malabar spinach seeds because I have a ton and I'll be getting rid of every last one of these. I don't need any of these. I reseed my pot, so all I need is just a couple of seeds. This would do it right here, and that would take me to another season of Malabar spinach. So all the seeds that I have on here, besides just one little small little bunch, will be given away. But this is a very interesting plant. It does love the heat, but for some reason this year it's getting way too much sun for too long in the day. But that's it for me, everybody. I do have some leek seeds that I will be trying to harvest here pretty soon. These are, looks like they are ready. So I'll be cutting these heads off. I've got about 2 of them. I don't want to lose these leek seeds. Hope you guys can see. So I'll be cutting those off and salvaging those seeds and figuring out where I want to put leeks in the garden next year. Because right now I have them in this pot and in this pot. And what I think I might do is I might harvest all of my leeks from both of these pots and put another banana in this pot. The Well, I said I was going to give that to my sister, so I probably still will. I've got 4 in here, so I can take a banana out of here and put a banana in there, and I'll find somewhere else to grow my leeks. We'll see. We shall see. But that is it for me, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed this very quick video. I am just out here in the garden real quick. It was beginning to rain, so I figured let me show y'all just a little bit of what the garden looks like since the sun is not beaming. So thank you again for joining me in the garden. I hope you all enjoyed today's quick video. If you did, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up, share the video, leave me a comment, and I hope to see you either in my kitchen or my ever-growing food forest real soon. Bye for now. Oh yeah, make your own fertilizers, y'all. Stinks to high heaven, but you know what? The garden likes it.